You're listening to A1R Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV, Enlightening Television. Welcome. And now, Reverend Elliot's Magical Window with Reverend Elliot. Live from magic-works.com. Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/psychic radio. Or one of our websites, askoneradio.com or moonstruck.tv. This is Reverend Elliot's Magical Window on A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Hey, listen, people, we really got to stop meeting like this. It's been 10 years, and somebody is going to find out. So, cheese it. Greetings, fellow seekers of truth, wisdom, and light. This is your friendly neighborhood esoteric practitioner, Reverend Elliot, coming to you live on the Ask One Radio Network, where we get together every 10 years to have a 10-year anniversary show. And this is it. Tonight's show is the beginning of my 11th year reading tarot here. And it has been a great time. And there's more stuff coming this year, which I hear is 2022, although some authorities say it's 2020. I want to read you something. That's something I've never done before here. And I've been practicing reading, so I can do it. I'm going to read you this. It starts with a quotation. Greetings from New York City. This is Reverend Camarena, but everybody calls me Elliot, and I hope you do that too. With those words, haltingly spoken on December 28th, 2011, I opened my debut appearance as a tarot reader on the prestigious Ask One Radio Network, AskOneRadio.com. As host of Reverend Elliot's Magical Window, I preside over a deceptively simple show that consists of my taking calls from all over the world and reading the tarot cards to see if callers and listeners may gain some insight into life's situations. I use the word deceptively because I find nothing simple about tarot reading. It's a skill to which I have devoted decades of study and practice. I took a long road to get here to Ask One Radio that December, and I confess to enjoying every minute of it. I would not trade a second of my years with the tarot for any other experience. That might be a slight exaggeration. Though through tarot, I have learned patience. I have enhanced my powers of imagination. I found a window into the hidden secrets of the universe, a most amazing window. And that is from the prologue to the book Reverend Elliot's Magical Window, which is a book I wrote a few years after doing this show. I was so inspired by all the readings I was doing for so many people here that I wrote a book on tarot. It's not one of those, this is what this card means and this is what that card means, although you will find things like that in there. It's a personal journey of tarot. And if anybody is interested in reading it, it has been said that that is the best tarot book ever written. And I know because I'm the guy who said it. So there you go. But it is fair to say it has been said. But, every time you hear that, keep an eye out for that in the news. When people say, well, some people say they're just making it up. And that's what I just did. So keep an eye out for that kind of stuff. So here we are. And it is just wonderful. I couldn't even begin to tell you how the last 10 years have changed my life. I couldn't. It's not possible. I now have friends I hear from all over the world. I read for people all over the world. I tell you, I was walking down the street one day here in New York City, and I always carry a tiny, tiny, tiny little spy-looking camera, a very retro camera. I'll put a picture of that up at Reverend Elliot's Tarot consulting page at Facebook. It's a teeny, weeny little tiny camera, and it always gets me into conversations. The conversations generally start with somebody saying, that is a nice little camera. It's a spy camera, right? And then I say, well, if it was a spy camera, it's not a very good one because you saw it. Then they laugh, and then we get it, and we start talking. I mean, I have to budget extra time walking down the street because of this. Now, the next thing they notice is on my lapel, I have a button, such as the button that, hey, anybody wants them, you can find it at my website. I'll just let me know and I'll send you a few. And it says Reverend Elliot's Magical Window, and it tells, Ask One Radio, I love free tarot reading. And every once in a while, somebody will say, "Is that you?" And they're a listener. You see, I'm a world famous tarot reader now. Well, not quite on the level of Brad Pitt's, although one day I'll tell you the story about how Brad Pitt played me in a movie. But I am. This opened up a whole world for me. Just it's amazing what's happened to me. It's just unbelievable. And I'm never lonely. I got emails coming in all the time, and I chat with people, and I hear from hundreds of people a month sometimes. Not always that many, but sometimes it is hundreds of people. Because they find my website, which is magic-works.com, magick-works.com, and they read, like the book I was just reading to you from, Reverend Elliot's Magical Window, which is dedicated to you, dedicated to the listeners of Ask One Radio. It's a book and a CD set that will get you, it's a good way to start your tarot adventure if you want to do it. And I'm telling you, it's worth doing. I probably tell the story, I know I've told it here, how I discovered tarot. I've known about tarot for years. I mean, any child who grew up in the 60s knew about tarot. It was mandatory at Woodstock. You had to show a tarot card to get in. And I knew a guy whose name was Earl Scott. And if you look him up at the Internet Broadway database, you'll find something fascinating. And he read my cards for me, and I was a kid. Boy, was I a kid. And that's another thing. People like to ask how old I am, and I've decided on my answer. I usually be quiet about that. I have no problem. I'll tell you how old I am. I'm approaching 70, but I won't tell you from which direction. There, how's that? Because today is my birthday. Jeepers creepers. I didn't mention that. Today is my birthday. January 5th is the 12th night of Christmas. By some reckonings, by others, it's January 6th. But January 5th is the Feast of Fools. What a perfect day for me to be born. The Feast of Fools. Because the Fool card is the most powerful, wonderful, happiest tarot card in the whole deck. And it never has come up for me in a reading. But I was born on the Feast of Fools. And all of this is part of, it's just wonderful. And I can't even tell you how fast this 10 years has gone. And, part of it's, I missed a hell of a lot of it being ill. But that's one of the things I considered before doing this. And when I was discussing it with Dave and Connie at Ask One Radio so many years ago, I said that I had concerns about my health because it was kind of weird. And it's still getting weird, but I'm here. I'm still here. But I did say one thing. I'm going to think about this very carefully, because if I do it, and I'm sure everybody says this to them, if I do it, I'm in it for the long haul. I do something, I stay with it. And here I am, staying with it. And now we're going to be bringing some changes this year. Hopefully they're improvements. And you can tell me what you like or don't like about it, just as you can tell me anything you want by going to magic-works.com, MAGICK, that's the K is important, -works.com. If you go to Magic, regular MAGIC-works, I don't think they're around anymore. You used to get an occult supply store in Albany or Buffalo or something like that. But MAGICK-works.com, magic-works.com. Which I'm happy to say I can link to on Facebook again, because some, let's say less than nice person reported my site as abusive. You go look at the site. There's over 100 pages there of fun things to do, free things to download, things to learn, definitely things to buy. But like I said, the last time I did a live show, no. I would prefer that you not spend money with me right now, because these are very difficult times financially for people, and go for the priorities. But hey, sometimes a deal is so good, you might as well take it up. I'm talking specifically like if you check out, for instance, my jewelry page, which has all kinds of occult amulets for any needs you want. You just click on the one you like, and it'll take you to the place where you can buy it, and just watch for the sale, okay? Right now, there's a 22% sale going on. For 2022, obviously. But sometimes there's like a 30% sale. So always take advantage of that. Always. I mean, I'm a New Yorker. We never buy anything retail. So always go for a discount. Go to my site, which is now available again when I link to it at Facebook. It's no longer considered abusive spam. And you can contact me if you have any suggestions for what you'd like to see me do on the show as the changes take place and as we all grow together, because this is your show as much as it is mine, although I do tend to babble quite a bit at the beginning of each show. The show is about you. It isn't about me. So, but I know that for some people, I'm a sort of a mysterious figure. And I don't know, if you have any questions about me, just email them to me. You can do the contact sheet at magic-works.com, MAJCK, contact sheet. Contact pain, with contact pain. That sounds so painful. But, contact page, or my email is one word, asktarot, ASKTAROT, at earthlink.net. And Earthlink was pretty old-fashioned even 10 years ago. So I'll give you a rough idea of how long I've been tooling around the interwebs. So here we are at Reverend Elliot's Magical Window on my birthday for the beginning of year 11. So I want to hear some really difficult questions out there, folks. That's what I'm here for. Tarot is not good. And by the way, I should tell you, don't use tarot to substitute. And I'm very proud of you for this, by the way, because you never really do this. Don't use tarot to substitute for your own judgment. Should I have that operation? Well, I'm not the guy to ask. You want to ask, I would no more advise you what to do medically than I would expect a politician to tell you what to do medically. Ha ha. But I've gotten so few questions like that over the years. This was a wonderful surprise because you could, as a tarot reader on Ask One Radio, I've been able to gauge the mood of the nation also. I know this is a small select group of very positive people who have no problem asking for help, which puts you way outside the normal people because, people ask me, why do you get so many good, positive, upbeat readings for people? So because the people who call me realize that there's something not quite right in their life and they want some help in sorting it out and recognizing a problem. I don't like the euphemism issue, or as I usually say, I hate euphemisms like the Dickens. The recognizing that there's a problem in your life and then asking somebody, a stranger even, to help you, man, that takes awareness and that takes courage. I know, calling a show and having all kinds of people around the world hear you. I wonder if I just discouraged anybody from calling. It takes guts. It really does. And I applaud that. And that's probably why you're getting good readings when you call me. You have insight into your own condition. You have the courage to do something about it and the integrity to be yourself and not feel humbled asking questions. Look, just to take something out of the headline, there are people now coming down with this virus after doing everything they were told to do and virtue signaling about how wonderful they were for doing it. And now they're coming down with it and they're ashamed. They're actually ashamed. And a lot of people are getting sick and not seeking treatment because they feel ashamed. Now, don't ever be ashamed of asking for help. Asking for help. Don't ever be ashamed of that. Now I know I'm preaching to the choir because you people who call me, you're not ashamed. You're not afraid. And it's not even me. You're not even trusting me. You want to look at the cards. And I appreciate that. And that is a great responsibility. And I applaud the seriousness of the questions you've been asking me over the past 10 years. Should I ask Debbie to the prom? No, that stuff doesn't come up. Doesn't at all. See, we deal with real heavy-duty life issues here. And it just shows that everybody's going through something. Like they always say, don't judge a person until you walk a mile in their shoes. And then, of course, you're a mile away and hell with them, right? Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Where is that? Here, there you go. But I just want to say thank you to the thousands of people I've read cards for in the past 10 years on Ask One Radio and Ask One Radio listeners who I've read for off the air. You can still do that. Like I said, I'm not promoting it as I usually do, because I just don't feel comfortable selling. You know what I mean? Not when people are struggling to fill the gas tank, not when people are struggling to heat the home, put food on the table or on the plate, and put the plate on the table. I don't feel comfortable doing that, which brings me to my new product. No, it's not like that. I can't do that. If you want to see what I have to sell, you know where to find it. I do have one thing for sale, and I mean one. There's only one of these for sale, and it is grotesquely expensive, but it's because it's the only one in the world at the moment. It is the 10 Lost Books of the Prophet in 10 individual hardcover books. There is another way to get these books, and it's a lot less expensive, but people don't seem to want to do that. But they do buy it the other way. So in paperback. But yeah, that's one thing. But I feel okay mentioning that because they've only got one for sale, and somebody with more money than I've got is going to buy it, and it's good because it's filled with timeless wisdom. I mean, if I had to suggest two books for anybody to read if they wanted to have an overall view of magic, I would suggest my book, Reverend Elliot Explains It All, and the 10 Lost Books of the Prophets, which is 10 books of 32 pages each. But that is culled from some of the most important occult literature ever written. So, it's out there. I'm not selling at this point. I'm urging you not to buy anything from me because, we've got to look out for ourselves first. And I'm all with you on that. So, welcome. I welcome you into my occultorium as or the occultorama, or we're going to get back into the Purple Grotto one of these days, which is located 3 floors below the city of New York. And we're going to be doing shows from there in the coming weeks. And we're going to have a blast together for the next 10 years, you and me and everybody else. And let's get started with the tarot reading. How's that? I'm going to now ring a bell 3 times to declare sacred space, to give us, to differentiate between the mundane world and the world of the occult. And then we'll go and we'll start the readings. And now I'll pull back the magical window curtain. I should have said that differently. Pull back the curtain on the magical window. I'm just giddy. It's been 10 years of doing this, and I feel like this is the first time. I feel very giddy about it. I love it. Lacey in Lomax, Illinois is on with Reverend Elliot. Hi, Lacey. How are you doing tonight?
Hi.
Hi, how are you today? Fine, you said?
I'm good.
Great. Well, what can I look at for you tonight?
I was told that you guys do mediumships or whatever.
I can give it a shot. I always ask the cards about that, and they let me know. So we'll see. Anybody in particular you wish to contact?
Yes, it's a friend of mine.
Okay. Well, I'm going to give it a shot. That's another thing. I should have mentioned that in the 10 years that I've been doing this show, nobody ever asked me to do that kind of a reading until a few years ago here at Ask One Radio, and I'd never done it. So, yes, when I say that doing this show has broadened my experience and my awareness, boy, that really does it. What I look for when I do an afterlife reading is one of several cards that relate to passing. And that way I can tell if I'm on the right track. So let's see what we get. I've got them all shuffled up, and we'll pull out a few cards here. I've got nothing yet indicating that, so I'm going to put these cards away and shuffle them again. And nope, that didn't shuffle very well. You'd think after all these years I'd know how to shuffle a deck of cards. Let's see. I'd be a terrible gambler. That's although I'm way ahead in my gambling, because the one time I wrote a show that was in Atlantic City, and I put some money in a slot machine, and like $62 came out, and then I never did it again. So I'm ahead of the game. Okay, let's see. Okay, I have one of those cards that I look for. if I'm looking at an afterlife reading. And I've got to tell you, this is the flow of these. The card is the Judgment card, which it's about the final judgment, the last judgment. You know, the story of the rising from the grave and a new life. I look for that. I look for the Death card. I look for the High Priestess, and sometimes even the Hermit. And the Hermit card is here. What I'm seeing is happy. And this is what struck me when I started doing these readings, is that I'm looking for a message from the person who has passed. And generally the message falls in this pattern, which is, first of all, there's the Justice card here. When you have justice and judgment together, that's telling me that the person has found a certain peace and understanding and knowledge on the plane where they now exist. The Sun is here. That is a card. This comes almost every afterlife reading I do, looking for a message. I get the Sun, which is a card of health and healing and growth and happiness. The Hermit card is here, and the Eight of Coins is here, and the Page of Swords is here. And this tells me that this is a person who is learning and growing, and the spirit is growing and becoming whole and full. Now, the next card is almost here, always here too. It's the Three of Swords. That is a card of heartbreak and sadness. So the message is, I know you're sad. I know that there's pain, and I know there's sadness, but I'm growing, I'm learning, I'm becoming more of who I was meant to be. And here's the Ten of Coins, which is a wonderful card about being with your ancestors. It's the Ace of Coins, which is the Ace of Cups, rather, which is about finding happiness. So I think the message is, yes, I'm sad too. I wish I didn't leave, but I'm doing much better now. Does this person have a lot of problems in life?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, they're getting, the message is, my problems are getting straightened out, and I'm growing. And there it is again, the Ace of Cups. The soul is evolving. And that's very good news. I'm going to light a white candle tonight after the show for your friend. How's that?
Thank you.
Okay. So be assured that it's a very positive. Oh, and here's the High Priestess. That's a card I also look for, because that's a person who can see behind the veil separating this world from the world to come. So it's a very positive message. There was a lot of harshness and heaviness in my life and sadness, but I'm growing. I have justice now. I got what I've deserved, and I'm growing and healing. And that's the important part. And that's the message that your friend wants to get across. I hope that helps, Lacey.
Thank you.
My pleasure. Bye-bye now. And let's shuffle them up again. That is something I never thought I would even be able to do with tarot cards, is afterlife messages. But it's funny how they all go the same way. All of them. Every one I've ever done. You can listen to the archives at AskOneRadio.com. Look for the 300 and whatever shows I have up there. That there's almost always a recognition of the sadness that the passing brings, but the spirit is growing and working out what was meant to be worked out. Evelyn in Tupelo, Mississippi is next. Hi, you're on with Reverend Elliot.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you tonight?
I'm just fine, and congratulations on your anniversary.
Well, thank you. You sound you sound so upbeat and positive. You're bringing a big smile to my face. So,
I'm glad. Yeah.
You must be a very positive person.
I try to be.
Good. Well, a lot of us try, as they say in Casablanca. You seem to succeed. I can feel it. I bet everybody listening feels it too. What can I look at for you in the card? What can we look at tonight?
Just, I guess, future relationship situation. I'm engaged, and just wondering if it's going in the right path. That's all.
Okay. So let's see. Give it a nice good shuffle. And okay. These are really good. These are very good cards. These are really good cards. The first is the Ten of Cups. Let me tell you what that means. There's a little white book that comes with every tarot deck, and the little white book, LWB, has simple meanings. As you get into tarot, you learn the deeper meanings of each card, but the simple meanings tend to be pretty close, and they're good because they're terse and they get right to the point. The Ten of Cups is a happy home. It's a very happy card. It's a wonderfully happy home. So that's good. The Temperance card is a card of balance. And of course, when you have two people who are together and married, and, if you don't have a balanced situation, you got problems. That's where struggle comes from. The Star is here, which is a card of hope and happiness and optimism and joy. And the Empress is here. Now, understand that out of 4 cards, 3 of them are major cards. There's only 22 major cards in the deck, and you got 3 of them in this reading. That means this is important. The Empress is you. You're the person who can make things happen, make things grow, make things appear and nurture and make it happen. So I think this is going to be very good for you, according to these cards. You know that too, don't you?
Yeah, I'm kind of hoping it would be.
Yeah, well,
you have your little ups and downs and everything, so
Well, I'm seeing nothing but happy cards here. The Ace of Cups, the Sun, it's another major card. This is the Emperor. There's another one. So the Empress and the Emperor. Hey, those both cards showed up. That means you're a perfect match. I think you're going to do fine. Okay.
Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate you.
My pleasure. Thank you for your kind words.
Keep doing your good work and helping.
Thank you. Bye-bye now.
All right. Good night.
And we'll shuffle up the cards. It's funny. Usually when people want to know about the state of a relationship, it's bad news. But didn't you feel how upbeat and positive Evelyn was? That was just a wonderful call. And the reading, very good. Very happy. And I think she knew it would be that way, too. Renee in Margate, New Jersey is next. Hi, Renee. You're on with Reverend Elliot.
Yes, hi, Ellie. Congratulations on 10 years.
Now, thank you. Thank you. It went by fast. Just like my hair. We're here today, gone tomorrow. What can I look at for you?
My future.
Oh, well, that's right ahead of you. Let's take a look. You want like an overview of 2022? See what that's got to bring?
Yes, please.
Okay. Let's see. And that's something I usually make a fuss about this towards the end of the year, telling people to contact me for a private reading to see what the next year brings. But like I said, I just don't feel comfortable, hawking products when we're in a time of inflation and high prices. So this is the way to do it, folks. Call and Ask One Radio and get a free reading. And let's see. Well, this is good. This is really good. And I'll tell you, I said in the cards in the opening that today is the Festival of Fools, January 5th. And one of the cards you have here is the Fool card. Now, the Fool card doesn't mean you're an idiot. The card of the Fool means the beloved of God. If there was anything negative in this reading, that card would cancel it out completely. So that's the first thing you need to know.
Thank you.
Everything else, except for one card, this is what happened with the previous one, is a major card. This is going to be a very decisive year for you. The Emperor is here. That's a card about somebody who can manage and take control and get things done. The Lover's card is here. That doesn't necessarily augur romance. It would have to look deeper at that. I know that movies always use the Lover's card that way, but its deeper esoteric meaning is that you have to face a choice, that this is going to be a year of choice. You're going to make a choice that is going to change your life for the better. Okay, now this is the card. If there are 2 cards that are misunderstood deliberately in movies when it comes to tarot, it's the Lover's card and the Death card. And you've got both of those. And the Death card does not mean you're going to die. Okay, let's get that out of the way. The Death card symbolically means that one period of your life is ending and another is beginning. Because on the Death card, there's a sunrise. And let's face it, I don't know about you, but when I'm dead, I wouldn't give a damn about the next sunrise. So I would just be mad that somebody else is looking at it and I'm not. And that's followed by the 10 of Cups, which I had a moment ago for someone else. The 10 of Cups is one of the happiest cards in the deck. So there are things that you've been wanting to do, is the way I see this reading, and this is the year that you're going to do them. You'll decide to do them. How's that? Is that an accurate statement of what's been going on?
Yes. Yes,
So-
I'm trying to. I said this year would be a very a changing year for me.
That is exactly what
for
this
me
means.
to start thinking about me.
Mm-hmm. The Lover's card means that you've made a decision. On an occult level, it tends to be a decision between the sacred and the profane, which could mean, like, I had there was a very well-known actor who recently passed away a couple of years or so ago, and I had a long discussion with him. I'm not going to mention the name because it's sort of in my capacity here, but he had done a lot of work in the stage, and he was dedicated to the stage, and he made an okay living in the stage, and he was getting along in years, and he decided to just sell out and start doing movies. He was perfect. He was always cast as strict, stern military men. He just had that look. And he was upset about that. And I said, why? Why would you be upset? You made your choice. You've been doing the sacred work of building the theater and doing the good work in the theater. And now something that is a little more mundane, which could be profane. It doesn't mean it's a choice between good and evil. It's just two different things. And now you're going to take what you've learned, and it's time for you to do some work for yourself and make the money. And he did very well for himself. And I like to think that I helped influence him at that point. But there's certain things in your life that you need to make a choice about, and you've been wanting to make this choice, and you're going to make these choices, and they're clear-cut choices, and there's no good or bad way of doing this. It's just what you want. And you're going to make the choices that you want that are going to lead you to a new phase of your whole life, and it's going to be super happy, super happy.
Am I going to hurt anybody in the process?
Well, I don't know. Let me see. The Wheel of Fortune is here too, by the way, which is a card of change. No, I'm getting, well, the Five of Rods is here, and that's a card of stiff competition. It shows people beating each other with sticks, but it's not like war. It's just like the day-to-day tumble of life, the rough and tumble of life. Let me put it this way. From what I see in these cards, if what you do, somebody chooses to get hurt by that, that's their business. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't see you as foreclosing on widows and throwing them in the street. That's different. But I've noticed that people close to us really don't like it when we change. It confuses them. And I can tell you how many phases in my life where I've heard people say, you're just not like you used to be. I don't know who you are anymore. And that of course means goodbye. Then you never hear from them again. But no, I don't see that you're going to be hurting anybody. I see that the Seven of Cups is here. You have a lot of really good ideas. You have a lot of ideas floating around in your head, and you're going to pick one and you're going to go with it. That's what I see. So now the important thing here, and this relates to losing friends, because we do lose friends when we change, is the Nine of Pentacles, the Nine of Coins. That is a card of a person who is comfortable being alone. That doesn't mean you're going to be lonely. It doesn't mean you're going to be a hermit. It just means that you don't need constant people around you to be happy. You're very centered on who you are, and you can be your own best friend. How's that? That's the good way to put it, I think.
I like that.
Yeah, you're well grounded, and you're going to be happy. Oh, and here it is again, the Ten of Cups, which is a very happy card. It's going to be a very good year for you.
What about my mom?
What would you like to look at concerning your mom?
Well, is she going to be okay? Do I need more help for her? Is she going to bounce back?
Okay, let's see. Yeah, well, is this a health issue?
Yeah, well, she just got over pneumonia.
Oh, okay. Ooh, I've had pneumonia. Trust me, I hear you. I hear you. When I had pneumonia, the doctor thought he was cheering me up. He said to my wife, and in front of me, he said to this, in front of my wife, he said, this was years ago, he said, there's every reason to believe that you'll come through this. And I was horrified. I looked at him and I had no breath, really. And I said, don't tell me that. Tell her that. Tell me I'm going to be fine. You know? So here's the two cards I got for you. The Hanged Man. That's a person who has made sacrifices. You have, haven't you?
Yeah.
And the Sun, which is healing and health and growth. That's why I asked you if this was a health issue, because it's about healing and health and growth. So I think things are going to be okay.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
I will light
more than you'll ever know.
Well, I will light a white candle, as I'm going to be doing several tonight for people, to send positive energy to you and your mom. Okay?
You are. Can I tell you, you're a blessing for me tonight. I really needed to hear your voice and to talk to you. So thank you. And again, happy anniversary. And you are doing so good. So many people probably have been blessed by you. So thank you.
Well, thank you for your kind words. It's you don't know how good it is to hear that. Take care.
No, really. Thank you. I really can't tell you how much I needed this. So thank you. Thank you so much.
My pleasure. Bye-bye now. And shuffle up the cards and wow. See, these are the moments. Like I said, that's why I wanted to read from Reverend Elliot's Magical Window at the beginning, because it's the book that I wrote because of this show, because of my experiences with all the readers, listeners. That's why it's the readers. I dedicated the book to you. It's literally dedicated to the Ask One Radio audience. So there you go. And maybe you'll read it sometime. Wendy in Lubbock, Texas is on. Hi, Wendy. You're on with Reverend Elliot.
Hello.
Hi. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing great.
Good. I'm glad to hear it. Lubbock. Every time I hear Lubbock, I think of a friend of mine who's from Lubbock and Buddy Holly. So it always comes to mind.
Yes.
Yeah. What? And Dr. Pepper. I got to add Dr. Pepper. I am a Dr. Pepper fiend. So
it is good.
Yeah. So what can I look at for you, Wendy?
Future. Let's just see what I've got entailed for my future.
Okay, let's take a quick look at next year. How's that? This year, rather. 2022, the coming year.
Yes.
Okay. This is an interesting one to explain. I pulled a few more cards than usual. The first card is the 10 of coins, and that is a card of success and joy, and it relates to grandparents and grandchildren and ancestors and descendants and family line. And the next card is the 8 of swords. That's a person who feels kind of tied up and restricted and doesn't know which way to go. Is that something that you've been experiencing?
Yeah, it is.
Okay, well, I'm glad, because it's about to end. There you go. You see?
Yay!
Yeah, there's good stuff coming, and I'll tell you what it is. It's the Ace of Cups is the first one here. That is the beginning of happiness. It's emotional joy, pleasure, happiness. So you're going to break through that feeling. And the 6 of Swords is here. That's a very important card for you. It shows a person in a little boat, moving that boat from rough waters to calm waters. And that's telling me that you are going to make things happen for yourself. You're going to be the one who gets those ropes off of you from feeling restricted. The next card is the 9 of Rods. That's important too, because that is a person who is prepared for what's coming. A lot of tarot decks show that person standing in front of a bunch of sticks with a bandage on her head, meaning, you've been through life. You've been through the ringer a little bit, and you've learned from what happened to you, and you're experienced, and you're prepared, and you're going to deal very well with it. The World is a card here of assured success. So don't spend too much time worrying about whether this is the right choice or the wrong choice. You go over things carefully, but you will make the right choices for you. And somebody's going to help you. That's the Hermit card. keep an eye out for somebody who may guide you, somebody who may offer you advice. And it may even be a book. It may not be an actual human being coming to you. It could be a subconscious voice that you hear, but you will be getting guidance from someone, from someplace. If nothing else, it's a card that tells us to be prudent in what we do. But I don't really buy that definition because, prudence, the virtue of prudence is not in the tarot cards. So people kind of shoehorn it in by assigning it to the hermit. But the hermit is somebody who holds a light and shows you which way to go. Somebody, it may not even be somebody you really know. It could be somebody you just run into, is going to give you a light bulb moment, and you're going to be able to see where the road is. But you're going to do very well. You're prepared for it. You're tired of feeling restricted. You're going to make motion. See, one card is the 8 of Swords where the person is tied up. The other is the 6 of Swords where the person's in motion. And that's what you're doing. That's what you're going to get this year, is you're going to be putting yourself in play and in motion, and it's going to be very good for you. That's coming.
I'm ready. I am so ready.
That's the 9 of Rods. That's the person who's prepared. That's the person who's ready, and the 6 of Rods means you're going to do it. Let me see if I can find one more card for you. Yeah, this is a good one too. It's the World again. It's success. It's guaranteed going to be good for you because you're going to take charge of it. Now, this is something I'm getting a lot of these days, and I think it's because a lot of bad stuff has been happening for the last year and a half. We all know what I'm talking about. And many of us we're reevaluating our lives, we're reevaluating our goals, and we're going to take a shot at it. Some people aren't going to do that. It's outside their comfort zone. That's fine. When you're ready to do it, you do it. I never tell people go do this now. All I'm seeing is that when you do it, it's going to work. And if you're ready to do it now, then do it now. It's your call. But it's going to work out really well for you. Here, look, I've got the 8 of Cups. I want to explain that for a moment. I told you that there's a card here about moving that boat from where you are to where you want to be. The 8 of Cups is about a person. In the 8 of Cups, a person is walking away from things in life that aren't working out and heading to something better. And that's a conscious decision that people make. You don't accidentally do that, and especially when you have both of those cards in your reading. That tells me that you're ready for it. The time is now, and you're about. I have that other card I got, the one that because of bad movies freaks people out. It's the Death card. That means one phase of your life is ending and a new one is beginning, and it's going to be a very good one. Because the next card is the 10 of Swords. That looks uglier than the Death card, but it isn't ugly. It means that the worst is over. Whatever bad stuff has been going on and coming at you from life, it's over. It's going to end this year, and you're going to free yourself. Now, this doesn't mean that things are going to happen. Here's the 8 of Cups again, showing the person walking away. This doesn't mean that it's just going to suddenly descend on you. You're doing it. You're ready for it, and you're going for it, and you have the confidence and the ability to do it, and it's going to be beautiful. Okay, Wendy?
Thank you. Thank you so much, and congratulations on your 10 years.
Thank you very much. I sound like I just got parole when people say it like that. But, boy, I'm going to re-up, Thanks so much, Wendy. You got a wonderful time coming ahead of you, by the way. You have a really good time ahead of you. So
thank you again. Thank you.
My pleasure. Bye-bye now. And let's see, we're rounding the corner to the end of the first show of my 11th year. And I'm hoping that I won't miss as many shows this year. But you never know, because I'm trying to work out a deal with my eye doctors that I think, I don't want to go into how it's gruesome. But there's a procedure that they were doing one time a few months back on my eye, and it not only put me, they do it on a Tuesday and the show is a Wednesday. It not only put me out of commission for almost a week, but I lost 10 pounds. So I've been busy drinking Irish cream and eating party mix to fatten me up to go through that ordeal again. But I'm trying to work out a deal with them that they do it on a Thursday, so I don't miss the next show. I don't want to miss. Can you look? I can't explain it. Words fail me. But if you are inclined to do this kind of work for other people, you get in touch with Ask One Radio at askoneradio.com and see about doing it yourself. It is a blast. Dalton in Longville, Minnesota is next. Hi, Dalton. You're on with Reverend Elliot.
Hello.
Hi, how are you tonight?
Good. How about yourself?
I'm doing well. You know, you answered a question for me. This is one of those things I like about life. Years ago, I knew an old guy who was a member of one of the variations of the singing group, the Ink Spots, from the 1940s. And for the life of me, I could not remember his name. And now I see your name on the screen, and I remembered his name was Dalton Roberts. So you reminded me. That's
awesome.
That's the synchronicity of life. So, Dalton, what can we look at?
My future.
Okay. You want to take a quick look at the outlines of 2022?
Yes.
Okay. I need to ask you a question first. I pulled out a couple of cards. Has somebody been treating you badly?
Yeah.
Okay. I just want you to know, I've got the Five of Swords here. That is a card of a person who has been sneaking around and doing nasty things behind your back. And, it's not a person who is interested in your well-being. But you knew that, right? So the good part about that is that the Queen of Swords is the next card. And that means that you're going to take control of that situation, which could be dealing with it or leaving it, whatever way you want to deal with it. But if you had any doubts about it, my cards here show me that somebody has been really not nice to you. The next two cards in the deck here that I pulled out are two of the happiest cards in the deck. So you can kiss that evil influence goodbye. The Four of Rods is here. The Four of Rods is a happy home, and it's joy and peace and contentment. And the Ten of Cups is perfected happiness. You also have the ten of Coins here. That's good news in terms of money and happiness in terms of family. And let me put it this way: everything after that nasty person, then comes the Queen of Swords. The Queen is about manifesting something and making it real. And she's got a sword in her hand, and she is not afraid to swing it. Now, that doesn't mean it has to be a woman. It's just a symbolic thing. But you're gonna deal with that. And every card after that is incredibly happy. The Four of Rods, the Ten of Cups, and the Ten of Coins. So this is a year where whoever's been messing with you is not going to be messing with you anymore.
Well, that's good.
And let's see. It's been, I see it's been difficult for you, but you're going to break away. You're going to be, the Nine of Rods is here. That's a card about a person who's prepared for what's coming and can handle it. The next, you're prepared for whatever this year has to throw at you. And the Sun is here. That's the healing and health and growth. And again, happiness. That's the one thing these cards all have in common. Here's the Ten of Cups again. I just shuffled them, and there it is again. This is definitely the year that you get your happiness, that you're going to reclaim the happiness that's your birthright this year, 2022.
Wow. Well, that'd be awesome.
And because, sometimes when somebody treats us badly, one of the things that people who do that are really good at is making us think that it isn't happening, that it's our fault. But I'm telling you, that's why I asked that question at the beginning. It's the other person was doing stuff to hurt you, and and will lose that influence. That person is not going to be able to hurt you this year. Yeah, good card.
Great.
The world is a card of success. The Ace of Coins is the appearance of money. The Three of Coins, it's a card about working hard and getting things done and being recognized for what you do. I think you're going to have a very productive, good year, and you won't have somebody lousing it up for you.
Awesome. That's good to hear.
I always like to feel that lousing up my life is my job. I'll do it. Thank you. I don't need any help. And that's why I tell people, don't put yourself down. There are millions of people in the world who'd be happy to put you down. Don't do their job. Do your job, and your job is to be you and you're going to do it. 2022. Keep this in mind. Now, this is an overall look at the year. It may take a little while to manifest. So if it does, if the speed bump appears, don't lose hope, because I'm telling you, this is the year. Here, the Tower of Lightning, Tower struck by lightning is here. That means that there's going to be a sudden change in your life, followed by the Ten of Swords, which is the card that means the worst is over. This is beautiful. Dalton, this is the year that the bad stuff that's been coming at you for a while, you know who's doing it. They're going to stop doing it because you know you're going to shine light on them. That's the sun, and it is going to be really good for you. This is your moment, and you're going to claim it, and you're going to do well with it. It's going to be very, very happy for you.
Awesome. Well,
let me just say,
thank you very much.
I'll just leave you with one thing, which is the Judgment card here. That tells me you're going to get what's yours. You're going to get what you deserve. You're going to get what's your right, and that could be something you don't have to tell us. That could be something tangible that you were kind of cheated out of, or it could just be what's yours because by birth you have the right to be you, and you have the right to be happy. So that's what I say. I say here. We'll give you a round of cheers here. Because this is your year. This is going to be your year, and you're going to find goodness in it. So keep me posted, okay? I'd love to hear how it's going.
Well, thank you, and congratulations too, by the way.
Thank you. It's amazing how fast 10 years goes. But here I am.
Yeah, no kidding, huh?
Well, I got to run. I've hit the end of the line for today, so you'll be the last caller, and I will light a candle to you at the end of the show to send positive energy to help boost that along the way for you.
All right. Well, thank you very much.
My pleasure. Bye-bye now. And that's it, folks. You've come to the end of Reverend Elliot's Magical Window 11.0, I guess we could call it. I'm very moved by the wonderful things people have been saying to me, and I get emails all the time from people who are quite happy. I used to hear from some guy who was a real rat, but this guy made it his business to go around trying to get me in trouble. I don't know why people would do that. He tried to get me booted out of the American Tarot Association because he said that I lied about being a screenplay writer, which is kind of funny because he checked the Writers Guild and he couldn't find my name, and he threw that in my face. And I said, haven't you ever heard of a pen name? Putz? So there you go. So, could you imagine being so low that you just want to hurt somebody because you think you can? The world is full of that. This is why I say positive energy, positive energy, positive energy. Let's go positive energy. That's what I say. I know everyone's saying let's go something else, but I say let's go positive energy. And you can get nothing but positive energy out of Ask One Radio, I'll tell you that. And if you want to know more about what I do, check out magic-works.com, magic-works.com. mojoacademy.org has a list of all of our books, loads of wonderful books, including the one I read to you from tonight, Reverend Elliot's Magical Window, which is a CD and a book set. And until then, I'll see you next week. And remember, time flies. It's up to you to be the navigator. Bye-bye now.